Right.
No, no, no. I take that back. She's not a fool. She's a pawn. And I'm sorry, but she.
So hello, welcome to Texas Tough Chicks. We're glad you're here. If you're here for the first time, welcome. If you are coming back for your poison, we're glad you're back. And we're going to talk about some of the things that are annoying us in the news this week.
Annoying is just not even cutting it. I mean, it's
I know. And I just have to apologize to everyone before we start. I am fuzzy. My laptop dropped. And so I think there's something weird with my camera now with the connection. So I'm going to try and figure that out this next week and get that. So sorry, I'm really fuzzy. I'm like a ghost. I guess that goes along with the holiday. I don't know. I'm like ghostly right now. I don't know. It's great for the lines though. I like it, but I don't like it because it's not clear, you know. So sorry about that. Don't adjust your TV. It's just me. So, or your computer. It's just me. Sorry about that. Okay. So back to what annoys us. Or you said way beyond annoyance.
Yeah, because I'm just, I have to be careful because I just get flaming mad. It's like, I think I'm going to go up in a puff of smoke because I get so mad at some of the stupidity, the lies, the cheating, the evil that's going on. And people are just going, oh, it's okay. You know,
okay.
It's okay.
Hey, let's just talk about Kamala's stupid thing that she said. Okay. So here's Trump. Trump is one of those guys that goes from like 3 o'clock in the morning till midnight sometimes. And you know, like he never falters. He never acts like he's tired. He has been going nonstop. She goes into hiding for months when she first declares that she's running. She declared it. She never got voted in by her own party. She just declares she's running for as their
nominee,
for presidency. And she goes into hiding for months. 4 months. What does he do? He hits the trail. He's out there every single day. You see him every single day, every single event, even up to the point where you hear that he says, now, quote unquote, he was exhausted, which makes me think he probably didn't say that because that's not his language. If you think about that, he doesn't say that. Okay,
says it. And
let's just say he did. Hello. He's been going nonstop.
He does 2, 3 events a day. I mean, and sometimes he's in 3 different states in one day.
Yeah.
And she can't be bothered.
She doesn't even do interviews.
No, she's done interviews.
Well, not to the friendlies.
That nasty, tell your daddy, whatever that nasty site was.
Right? And gross. And the one that she does that's not the friendly, that basically gives her all the answers, she totally blows. And by the way, I guess she was too exhausted to stay more than 15 minutes for that interview.
And she showed up 15 minutes late.
Right.
And then Brett said that they're, you know, her
wrapping
little hand, there's 4 of them back there go, wrap it up, wrap it up, wrap it up. It's because she was faltering. She looked like a fool because she is a fool.
Right.
No, I take that back. She's not a fool. She's a pawn. And I'm sorry, but she.
So she has a nerve. She has the nerve to say that Trump saying that he's exhausted, which we don't even know if he said that because that's still, again, that's not in his lingo. We don't ever hear that from him. He's never acted or done anything. He's been going nonstop 24 hours a day, more so than any president. And she has a nerve to say that he may not be up for the task when she was basically missing in action for a couple months. Okay, bull on that. And she's like, what, 20 years younger than he is? And she can't even keep up with him. So baloney on that. She can't even hold a 15-minute interview with someone who was hand feeding or spoon feeding her the answers. That made me so mad that she had the nerve. I think it backfired on her though. People were just like,
I did too.
No, sorry, honey. That
I hope it did. I hope that a lot of people saw her for what she was, which is a liar.
Yeah.
She's an angry woman.
I guess not very joyful, right?
No. And when he asked, of course, I listened to both sides. You know, I listened to the View and all the idiots afterwards.
Oh my gosh.
MSNBC. And they were just talking about how mean he was to her. And I'm going, he wasn't mean. He asked her a question. She didn't answer the question. So he asked her again and goes, well,
Oh,
you
he was
didn't
so
actually
polite.
answer the question. So
He
he
could
asked
have
her
been so
again.
ugly about
And
that. Yeah.
And then that crap about, well, now she's got the Cheneys behind her and all this other stuff. And I'm going, and people are going, oh, look, the Republicans are behind
No.
her. Those people are not Republicans.
Yeah.
Those are
Okay. There's not a Republican who thinks they are.
those people are traitors, especially Liz
That's right.
Cheney. Did you see the thing about that she had those conversations with some of the witnesses
Oh,
for the January 6th thing? And
no,
she's a traitor. I'm
she
sorry.
is. No, she's
Straight up.
she's a spoiled rich kid, is what she is. She's
Yeah.
spoiled, she acts like one.
Yep.
You rub my back and you tell me, you know, that you support me, and great. If you come up
Yep.
against me in any way, I can't handle it because I'm a spoiled rich child.
Yep.
And so
Yep. Yep.
I'm gonna destroy you because I have the
Uh-huh.
money and power to do so.
Right.
And it's like
Right.
baloney. No one likes her. I mean, come on, she didn't get reelected. So,
No.
you know,
No. She
just
got
go away.
primaried.
We don't care about you. All the Republicans, we do not care about you. We do not
Mm-mm.
care about the Cheneys. I'm
Mm-mm.
sorry. Mm-mm.
Or I'm sorry, frankly, I don't care about the Bushes, the
No, no,
Romneys, a bunch of
no.
them.
They've
There's a
shown their
whole
true
bunch of them
colors.
that they can just
They
go
want
and never
power.
come back.
Yep, they want power. They've shown their.
Yep.
So, you know, quit acting like you have an influence over us, because you don't.
Right.
You don't. We don't care about you anymore. Like, go away.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
you're like a
Not that I ever
celebrity who
cared about
thinks
them.
we care about what you have to say. We don't.
Mm-mm.
Sorry.
Mm-mm.
Don't know that.
No.
And I mean, we
Nope.
don't expect anyone to care what we have to say. We're
No.
just out here saying our peace of mind, and then we just throw it out there, and that's it. That's what it is. We're not trying to
Yep.
destroy anyone. We're just
Mm-mm.
saying, oh, this is what we observe. And
Right.
what we're
Right.
hoping is that there's people out there that, you
Yep.
know, feel like they're kind of out alone, you
Right.
know, out there, that they go, oh,
Yeah.
hey, there's a couple the chicks from kids. Oh boy, we're
Text.
far from being kids, aren't we?
Right. Yeah. Oh well.
There's a couple of chicks in Texas, you know, that have, you know, the same opinion that I do, and I feel like I'm not
Yep.
alone, and that's kind of
Right,
what we're out here
exactly,
for.
exactly. That's the thing. That's the thing is we just want to say, hey, we feel your pain
Yeah,
and we would like to speak out because we can. And if anybody, you know, if we plant a single seed in
right,
somebody who's voting for the other side and
right.
make them stop and go, wait a minute, maybe I need to look into that a little bit more. Great.
Hmm.
That's great. I hope they do.
Exactly, exactly. I mean, honestly, we're just a couple of regular people. You know, well, maybe you might
Oh,
be
well,
some kind of rich person that I don't know about, but I mean, like, we're just
me?
regular working
Yeah,
class.
right.
You know, conservative. We
We
both
love
came
our
from very mellow
yep.
families. We're not
Mhm.
trying to push our influence anywhere. We are
Nope.
just trying to help people feel supported. And like you said, plant a seed from someone that
Right.
might be like, I didn't know about that. I mean, you know, we don't have any more information than anyone else has access to, but we do watch the news and we do watch the latest reports that are coming out. And so sometimes
Right.
we're a little bit ahead of just the
Mhm.
general population. Plus,
Mhm.
we don't give in to that MSNBC BS or the CNN
Mm-mm.
BS, you know.
Mm-mm.
So we're kind of
Well, and the thing is, we don't have anybody telling us how to think. We think for ourselves. We take the
exactly,
information that we find, we process it, and we go,
exactly.
that doesn't make sense. I'm going to ask about that. I'm going to dig in a little further and find out the
Mhm.
truth behind that. So
And actually,
that's what we
we're old
do.
enough to really remember, you know, the
Mhm.
country being a
Oh,
lot
yeah,
better country with young people that
absolutely.
were at least decent human beings. Even if they were on the
Right.
left, they were decent human beings.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
we've seen the difference between, you know, children that were raised by, you know, good families and people who
Hmm.
loved them, and whether it was a single parent or not, it doesn't matter. It's just like someone who loved them and cared
Hmm.
about how they turned out, and children who
Yeah.
are just basically raising themselves on the television or the internet.
Right.
And we see
Hmm.
we've been able to compare the two
Hmm.
types of cultures, and the
Yes.
way we're heading right now is so bad. And the Democrats, and let me just say this, any of you medical professionals that come on and you say you're a doctor or nurse or whatever, and then you tell people how to vote, well, first of all, that's unethical. Number one,
Hmm.
you are not to
Hmm.
be involved in that right there.
Nope.
You are
Right.
not. That's
Hmm.
unethical for you.
Hmm.
But you don't speak for the rest of the medical professionals.
No.
You don't. The other thing that we were going to talk about too, which is like something that made me crazy that Kamala did. She did this thing where when Sinwar got the If you don't know, the head of Hamas, the guy who basically was in prison in Israel for like 20 years. He had a brain tumor. The Israelis, the his enemy, basically removed the brain tumor so he could survive. He got exchanged in some prisoner swap thing, and he went back to the Gaza Strip, and he was the head of Hamas that instigated the attack on October 7th that raped women, burned children alive.
Yes,
and so he's freaking evil, like probably just basically Satan personified, right?
Right.
Well, they've been trying to, get him, and he's been a step ahead, and they give him the credit for that. But just happens on their what they consider their Thanksgiving, so they're like holy holiday for the Jews, that they are giving thanks to God, just happen to come across him and kill him on this day. It's just amazing, such a miracle that it happened. And then Kamala has the I don't know, what would you call it, the annoyance to come out. I don't know what you call it,
audacity.
Audacity, that'd probably be the word, to come out and say, oh, okay, now the war's over. Really? That's like saying when we killed Hitler but the Nazis still wanted to fight, oh, the war's over now, we're just going to withdraw. It's like, no, let's finish the job. I mean, not let's let them finish the job and just shut up, quit like doing this. You're hurting them. We need to stand behind them. They're doing what we should do. Get rid of the terrorists instead of across our border.
Right. And you know how it is with Hamas and all the terrorists in that part of the world is, so you cut the head of the snake off, but it grows another head and another head. So until you take out a great deal of those people that are in the line of succession, it's not going to stop.
Yeah, until they lay down their arms willingly and say it's over.
Well,
they're going to be just continual.
And say, here are your prisoners. Yes. We're going to release your prisoners.
Hello. And that's what Israel needs to keep saying over and over again. It's not over until we have our hostages and they surrender. And every single time it gets brought up, say the exact same thing. It will be over when they give us back our hostages and they lay down their arms. Period. Period. Right. Don't say anything else, nothing else. No. Not returning our people, nothing. Just say when those hostages are given back to us, and even the bodies of the dead ones, which they may all be dead by now. Who knows? Like,
they may be.
Thank you for what is it? Oh gosh, it's not the Red Cross, but yeah, it's the Red Cross. Yeah, Red Cross is supposed to be checking on them. That didn't happen, did it?
No.
Yeah, they're useless. Don't give any money to the Red Cross. They're useless. No, absolutely useless. So
and what are they doing for the people here in America, North Carolina?
Hello.
I don't think they're doing very much.
And it's still a mess. It's still a mess. People are posting things how bad it is still.
Yeah. Oh, they were talking about how horrific the smell is starting to be.
Oh, right.
Near Asheville and some of these places where they know. I mean,
that has to be dead bodies, right?
Oh, the people that live there are going by and they see a hand sticking up or whatever, and they're just marking places. And then, I mean, all the backstory behind that is the lithium mine that they discovered near there, and the fact that they most likely manipulated the weather and stuff like that. And
anyone who says, "Oh, we don't manipulate the weather," that's just a conspiracy. No, they've been seeding clouds for decades.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous to say they don't manipulate the weather.
There are patents. If you look up the patents, there's so many patents on chemicals that they put in the sky to seed the clouds or whatever. They've been doing this since the 60s or the 40s or something. The cloud seeding.
And
all of the carbon freak out crap going on is all about money and power. It's about taking the United States down to a third world country so that all the elite cabal can control the one world order. And if you don't believe that, pull your head out of the sand and research, because
it's all about power. That's what this whole political thing is right now. Power. One candidate wants to give the power back to the states and the people. The other candidate wants to keep the power, at all costs. Send the millions of terrorists across our border so they can maintain power. I mean, there's states that are being sued for requiring IDs at the ballot. You have to have an ID to see your doctor. You have to have an ID to get a library card.
Anything.
You have to have an ID to drive. That's why Walz, the idiot VP candidate, passed a law that illegals can have driver's license in his state so they could vote.
Yep.
There's no other reason for it. They're causing all these accidents in his state.
And California is the same way. California is the same way. They're allowing illegals to have driver's license. And people better pay attention to the fact that it's communist. It's Marxism. There's a really good thing I watched recently about Mao, how he took over China and how many millions of his own people he killed. And you can see that progression happening here.
Right? He had to kill them
here. Yes. Yeah. And what did he do? He made it them against us, which is what the left are doing. They're saying that if you're MAGA, that you are evil and that you're dangerous and that you must be imprisoned or shut down or whatever.
If you believe in making America great, you're dangerous.
Right.
That sounds a little communist to me, right? That sounds like what an enemy would say.
It's straight out of the communist playbook.
And Kamala was raised by those people.
Yeah, her father.
Thing, like
her father was a Marxist.
Were associated with Berkeley. That and actually marched in marches that were pro-communist. And I don't know if you watched any of this, but Candace Owens. I'm not a big fan of her.
She's fantastic.
But man, she is on it. She is like really trying to dig up like these fake pictures that Kamala put out about her grandmother. They aren't even her grandmother. It's so weird. It's so weird.
I know.
Saying that these people are aunts and uncles, and then they can prove that they're not. They're in fact proved by her own books that they're not family members at all. And she calls them aunts and uncles and her family. And just the pandering. And I love it that it's a Black woman calling her out on it. That it's not some whitey woman going. And she was raised in the communist. Middle class. Okay, let's just say upper middle class. These neighborhoods that she went to visit, she had to visit because she lived in a nice neighborhood. She wasn't living in those neighborhoods. She had to go visit them because she was living in a nice neighborhood. That's interesting. Yeah, but I love the Candace Owens stuff because it goes into her pandering and basically lying about her past. Like, it's kind of like the people that say that they're like Indian and then they don't know anything about their family, but they like have some relic that they got at Goodwill, and they say, well, this was from my family, and that makes them Indian or something. I don't know. And I don't mean Indian. I mean like Native American, so it's just kind of one of those, it feels like it's that pandering thing, to get the vote. And I love that a Black woman is calling her out on it. It's awesome.
I do too.
And by the way, the ballots have dropped in many states already. I think I think even there's some coming up, like I want to say Washington State might be coming up real soon. And it's time to vote. Don't hold on to that ballot. Get it in.
Early voting starts here tomorrow. So
and and that's why we're seeing the gas prices. Remember how they were dropping. Surprise. Surprise. They have to take that off of the debate. They have to drop those prices of your gas. So that can't be held. They can't be held accountable for those high gas prices. But guess what? They're inching up now. Why? Because a whole bunch of ballots have already dropped. They know at this point it's not going to be a seller point right now. So just watch our gas prices. Just by the time November comes, they're going to be all back super high again.
Of course they are.
And if we vote in the wrong people, our gas prices are going to be $6 a gallon, and they're going to force us. And they do that too. There's another reason why they do that. That forces us to want electric cars. But here's the reality about the electric cars. They're already being charged now. So that whole push, oh, this is like free transportation, blah, blah, blah. No. Guess what? Now you're having all these stations are starting to charge you per kilowatt if they haven't already, but now
it's much higher.
And now there's some extra taxes. Guess what? Extra taxes. Some of the states are, why? Because they cannot pay for the roads without those taxes. And so they're trying to tax on the other end of it. We have free will in America still. We can still, hey, if you want to buy one of those, that's on you, right?
Right.
Don't force me. Don't force me. Don't load up our roads with that. And then pretend like, oh, you didn't know that it was going to cost more than gas to run these things. It's going to cost us more. You think at first, yeah, you're going to go, wow, I don't have to pay, fuel. And then you're getting the tax bill.
Do.
And then the insurance bills are going to be higher. The more of those things that explode, the insurance is going to be higher on it.
Yep. Actually, they did a study and they said that the price to charge them, because it takes so long, and that is higher than buying gasoline.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
So it's already, all this stuff is being proven, but people are just burying the information. Oh, well, no, it's good. And again, if we're already in California, there's, last year, what in the wintertime, old Newsom was telling people, well, don't charge your vehicles because we're going to have a brownout.
Right. Because there's air conditioning going. Well, you need air conditioning, so, and
or heat.
What if like my husband and I, we got stuck on the interstate the other night because of an accident. No fault of ours. We're stop and go. You're stop and go for 3 hours and your battery wasn't fully charged before you hit there. And now you die. What are you doing? The car is even heavier to push out of the way.
Yeah.
So what are you doing? Like, so now you got to get a tow truck. It's not just like someone gets you a, like a tank, like a bottle of gas and then puts it in there. You got a gallon, you put it in there. Now you can get off on the next. You can't do that. So just so much of this hasn't been thought through. And if we vote for the wrong people, we're all going to be subject to this. Please, please, please vote. Get Texas tough. Get Texas informed. Don't be intimidated. Don't be violent, but be on top of everything. And don't just cater to this. Oh, like I think my husband said he saw an ad where it's like basically, oh no, it was I want to say it was CNN or something like that. Not that we watch them, but he just saw a report. And he said something to the effect that they're already saying that in Arizona there's 70% voting. They're already getting like 70% of the vote that's coming in early is all Democrat. Okay, well, my husband says like, well, doesn't that make you feel like if you're Republican, why even vote? So don't cater to that. Don't cave into that. Don't listen to that.
No.
Get your vote in. Sometimes it comes down to 1,000 votes in a place that has 4 million people. So get Texas tough and vote now. Don't wait.
Yep. We only got.
See you next time.
Take care.
I'm fuzzy. Look at me. I don't know what to do. My camera, I think I dropped my laptop and I think something happened with my camera because I can't get it unfuzzy.